like the Frieza theme song going on. I know I should have probably used this. I probably should have used it during the Frieza saga or Frieza fight, but I was going through the old theme songs I used for the previous chapters, but and I was like, I haven't used this one yet. I was like, you know what, I gotta use it. Next time I will use the Budokai Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack, like the whole entire soundtrack. I'll use that for the next one. But this will be the last chapter I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, only because I'm getting my camera taken up so I can get it fixed. So yeah, last chapter we ended off with the cooler fight. Um, oh snap! Yeah, we haven't even got there yet. Yeah, we're at the cooler fight. Yeah, I thought we were past that already. No. We're at the end of the cooler fight. We got to the deep climax. No, we're at the climax, and I kind of ended it there. So last time, chapter 6, of Dragon Ball X. Cooler, got his final form, kicking Tora's butt, even when Tora's using the mastered Super Kaioken. In the last sentence of chapter 6. Oh yeah, Bulma arrives to the scene where after Tora got beamed down or just destroyed by Cooler, and Bulma arrives to the scene because in chapter 5 or chapter 6, Bulma gets there to say hello to Nail and Tora while she's collecting the 7 Dragon Balls. And yeah, that's what happens. I'll tell you the last two sentences. Bulma runs towards Tora and tries to get him to the car so she can heal him. So in the car that she had, hold up. In the car she got to the scene with, that's the same car she's using now. Alright. But she didn't notice that Cooler was there, and in an instant, she was the one who got death beamed. Because right when she's going to help Tora, Cooler had a death beam, was like ready to blast at Tora. I said, let's say Tora on no, yeah, Cooler death beaming Tora. He had a death beam ready, but it went and it hits Bulma. Tora, still on the ground, begins to cry as Bulma collapses. Tora has a flashback when he first met Bulma and begins to wallow in his own sorrow. Bars. Tora, then enraged, gets up, back slowly, with their crazy, out of control aura. So his aura is leaking everywhere. Like, I mean, if he's training with Whis right now, Whis would go home. Your aura is too out of control. He got that nine-tailed fox chakra kind of aura. You know what I mean? If you ever watch Naruto, you know what I mean. Tora weeps over the somewhat of the corpse of Bulma. Tora then plunges his fist into the ground, causing a small meteor in the ground. He strikes the ground again and again as he turns into a complete ball of rage. Upset from the loss of his friend, Bulma was like a mother figure who he then just lost. Because Tora met Bulma at the age of 10, and they spent a couple weeks and months together, and all on Namek they were together, and remember Bulma at this point in her 30s. Again, the time was kind of weird with this. But Bulma was in her 30s, 40s maybe even, and Tora is just, I mean, if I was him, I would be in the same kind of mood. Tora stands up and screams. Oh, I cannot scream this right now because I got people in the house right now. But he screams no. Think of no, but extend that and then scream it out loud. That's how it went now. It's no, but in a higher pitch. Higher volume, but lower pitch. He was mad, he was upset. Tora says, "How could you, Cooler?" Tora has a golden-like aura. Y'all can see where this is going to, right? A golden-like aura spark from nowhere and charges as he becomes more and more upset and filled with rage. Then in a snap, Tora unleashes a golden-like form as his hair becomes a golden color and he becomes more built and with a menacing look in his eyes. He then evolves into what is known as a Super Saiyan. So at this point, guys, chapter number 7, this is when Tora becomes a Super Saiyan for the first time. Tora looks up at Cooler with tears flooding down his face. Then he calms down and soars up. Cooler says, "Are you done?" Tora replies with, "Yes, and you are finished." Or a better thing would have said was, "Yes, and are you done?" I don't know. I was writing this like a month ago. I can barely remember what I meant by this. And I actually haven't read nothing for Dragon Ball X in the past month. I've just been doing these Dragon Ball X chapter readings. So while I have my camera taken away, I'm trying to get a couple chapters done on this and get about page 100, something like that. Because right now, currently, we're on page 76. So yeah, Cooler becomes mad with the overconfident words spoken by Tora and rushes over. Cooler swings a right that connects with Tora, and then Cooler throws another one, and another one, and another one. I'm just kidding. Alright, neither even smudged Tora. Smudge. If you don't know what smudge means, didn't even like he punched him dead as well like this, but it didn't phase him. Then Cooler sends a haymaker uppercut at Tora. It also connects, but like the other hit, it simply is unrecognized by Tora. Cooler is infuriated as he gets prepared to swing another blow. Tora, before Cooler could react, sends him flying with the force of his own strength. So like just as Cooler was about to charge at him, Tora just pumped up his chest and like Tora was sent flying. Tora swiftly crosses over and delivers a vicious uppercut to the abdomen of Cooler, that is. As it feels like to Cooler, he is being impaled and spits out tons of blood right on the broad shoulder of Tora. Tora then grabs Cooler by the neck and strangles him till he finally throws him into the ground. Right as Cooler meets the ground, Tora throws a punch to the abdomen of Cooler again. Tora jumps high in the sky and charges the Tiger Wave, strong enough to put Cooler to his demise. Tora launches the attack. As it hits ground and a huge explosion occurs, Tora then realizes Cooler is dead as he can no longer sense his energy. He then snaps out of his Super Saiyan form and says, "Good riddance." Tora looks down to the ground as he searches for Bulma. A moment passes till he finds the half-corpse of Bulma as he clenches his hands in pure anger, agony, regret, and sadness. Tora decides to hover down. Right as he goes down, Tora is kicked right across the face of who he thought was vanquished, Cooler. Tora was caught off guard as Cooler looked from a distance with a grin. Tora says, "Why won't you leave me alone?" He gets infuriated as he charges up and turns into Super Saiyan once again. Tora rushes up and lands a solid hook to the face and slams Cooler to the ground. Tora floats down and picks Cooler up and kicks him back into the air. Tora then charges a ferocious Tiger Bomb. Cooler picks himself up in the air and then charges up a similar move like the one Frieza used on Namek, the Supernova. Tora looks up at Cooler's move and has a flashback of his fight on Namek. Then Tora gets more mad and continues to charge the already powerful Tiger Bomb. When the Tiger Bomb is ready, Tora puts the energy into his hands. He then swings his arm back and launches the ultimate Tiger Bomb. Cooler then releases the supernova, and another powerful key struggle starts. Tora, in a true rage, pushes through Cooler's supernova and hits Cooler. The Tiger Bomb pushed Cooler right out of the atmosphere, then right into the sun. Cooler was then defeated. Tora was drained. He then lost his Super Saiyan form. He suddenly collapsed. Tora looked around. He remembered about Bulma and crawled over. I mean, he's drained out of energy. Bulma's like half dead on the ground. He's having to crawl over there with as much energy as he has. Once he got to her, he gave her the last senzu bean he had in his sack. Bulma slowly got up as Tora lied on the ground, bloody, defeated, yet satisfied that he had won. Nail was still down from Cooler's beam. Tora told Bulma to go get Nail and put him in Korin's tower. Or as I said here, to go get him to Korin's tower and get him a senzu bean. Bulma asked, well, how about you? Tora said he will be alright. Bulma later got Nail in her car and took off. Tora rolled around on his back and looked up. He stared into the sky as he smiled and fell asleep. And that is the end of the Cooler fight. I'm not going to end it here, guys, of course. I mean, we still got, I'm going to try to read up until another few more pages. So, yeah, let's kind of recap on this fight a little bit. Alright, so Cooler came with his 3 henchmen that Tora and Nail fought and defeated. Tora then fought Cooler, started the fight with Cooler. It was a pretty even match, just like Frieza and Tora in the beginning of their fight. Then Cooler unleashes his final form. Tora tries over and over and over with the Super Kaioken, but cannot find a way to win. Bulma, moments later, as Tora lies on the ground defeated, gets death beamed by Cooler that awakens Tora's ultimate Super Saiyan form. Tora becomes a Super Saiyan, fights Cooler, and kills him with his Tiger Bomb that launches Cooler into the sun as he is done. Tora then gives Bulma a senzu bean, tells her to take Nail to Korin's tower or Kami's lookout so he can get healed. And then he rolls on his back, looks into the sky, or at the sky, as he's on the ground, barely conscious, bloody, messed up, and knocked out. And he sighs a good sigh, and that's the end of it. Alright. This is after the fight, of course. I kind of skipped a good sentence or two. I didn't like stretch it out. I just forgot to add a couple things right here. As I noticed, the only reason why I just recapped the Cooler fight was because of this. After the battle, a few months had passed, and it was Tora's 15th birthday. So on Tora's 15th birthday, this happened. Everyone was having a good time, as it was Tora's first ever birthday party. Tora received gifts and loved it. He even got his first car from Bulma. The day passed by, and then suddenly, from far, far away, Tora can sense 2 high power levels. He told everyone to stand by as he checked it out. By everyone, I'm talking Kami, Bulma's parents, and others who showed up. You know what I mean? Tora rushed over as the powers were somewhere in the wasteland. So like in the mountains like that. Tura lowered down as he saw an incoming ship. He said, if they're too much of a threat, he can just go Super Saiyan. The ship landed as a bunch of soldiers ran out looking for him. They asked if he was Tura. Tura started to begin getting annoyed from the same question, are you Tura? Tura said, if so, why? They replied with Lord Frieza and Lord Cold are looking for you. Then Cold and Frieza step out the ship. So Frieza, the Mecha Frieza and King Cold. So just like what happened after the Frieza fight and everybody's on Earth and whatnot, this is what's going down. Frieza is in his final form, but has robotic parts. Tura was in shock of Frieza's survival on Namek. Tura charged up immediately and blew Frieza's ship. Tura says, you're not going to escape this time. Tura charges over as suddenly another character also arrives to the scene. This particular character has short purple hair with a jacket that said Capsule Corp on it. He said his name is Trunks. Tura said, are you ally or foe? Trunks said, I'm here to destroy Frieza. Tura stood back as he asked, are you a Saiyan? Trunks told Tura yes as he nodded. Tura then asked, can you go Super Saiyan? He replied again with yes, I can. Tura said, let's do it. They then both went Super Saiyan. Frieza had never seen a Super Saiyan before, because remember, in Universe 4 that is, Tura beats Frieza with the Super Kaioken and dodges all of Frieza's attacks as Frieza does the little disc, the saucer disc, and he gets cut in half. So just like on the fight with Goku and Frieza, it wasn't Goku's Super Saiyan form that beats Frieza. It's the disc that beats Frieza, and that's how Frieza was defeated on Namek. Not by Turagon's Super Kaioken or Super Saiyan. Tura punches... Oh, hold on. I done went all the way up there. Alright. Frieza had never seen a Super Saiyan before, and he was scared of this new form. Tura said, I'll take Frieza, and you take that Cold guy, being King Cold. Tura and Trunks rush over and attack Cold, and Tura and Trunks rush over and attack Cold and Frieza. Tura punches Frieza over as Trunks toyed with Cold. Tura jumped up and came down with a strong punch. Frieza got up and asked, how did you get this strong? Tura said, just go ask your brother. Being cooler, that is. Then, Tura charged a Tiger Wave as Frieza charged up a strong Death Ball. Frieza said, take this, you stupid monkey. Tura countered the ball with his Tiger Wave. The Tiger Wave easily canceled out the Death Ball as a huge explosion occurred. On the other hand, Trunks was smacking around Cold, so Cold came up with a strike. Trunks dodged and sliced Cold in half. Cold was in two. Then Trunks obliterated Cold with a blast. That was the end of King Cold. Trunks from a distance sees the explosion as he witnesses their battle. After the explosion, Tura suddenly vanished. Then, out of nowhere, came from behind, then swung a huge blow to Frieza that left him hanging by Tora's fist. So like he punched him like in the abdomen or so, and like put it like this: Frieza was hanging over his arm essentially. Then Tora let him go as Frieza dropped to the ground. Then Tora got a Tiger Bomb and launched it at Frieza. Frieza received the bomb, and he got tore apart from the amazing attack from Tora. Frieza then came to his end again. The battles were over, and as soon as they came, they were gone. Trunks then came over and formally introduced himself. He then told him that he was from the future and he was looking for Goku. Twist. Tora asked, "Who?" Trunks said, "Goku, the other Super Saiyan." Tora said, "There is only one Super Saiyan presently on Earth, being himself." Tora, that is. Trunks then noticed what had happened. This is where I had to be creative with this, because remember, Goku, in this universe, there's no Goku to fight the Red Ribbon Army. Meaning the android that would have not have been the same as in Universe 7. That's when I kind of got a little idea. And I thought of the multiverse theory in which Trunks' time machine, this is where it all comes into play. Trunks then noticed what had happened. The time machine had took him to the entire other universe. Trunks then said, "Sorry, I guess I got lost in another universe, that is." Then Trunks warned Tora still about the androids coming in the future. Tora took note of what Trunks said before Trunks left, and he waved goodbye. He remembered what Trunks had said. In 3 years, 2 androids will appear in west of South City. Tora then headed back to the others to celebrate the rest of his birthday. Okay, I'm gonna finish this last little chapter, and then that'll be the end for this, guys. Once back at the party, Tora told everyone of what is yet to come. Nail said it will be fun to go and train with you again. Tora told them they will be there in 3 years, and Nail and Tora would square off against the 2 androids. Later, the party ended, and Bulma got the equipment ready and left to the Capsule Corp. Nail said, "I've found a good spot to train in for the next 3 years." Tora said, "Okay then, let's go." They then left and headed off to train. And let's go ahead and get to this right here. Time passed as Tora trained with Nail and was getting ready for the possibly hardest challenge of his life. 3 years had passed as Tora and Nail finished up their training. Tora was then at the age of 18 and was a strong young man. Nail was an experienced, strong fighter. They were both physically and mentally ready for the fight to come. Now I'm going to end this off with the Tora's and Nail's power levels. Tora's current power level at his base is 8 million, and Nail's at his base is at 2.7 million. And that will kind of end it for today. I would actually go further on, but this is actually the end of what I wrote about a month ago. Yes, as you can see, page 88 right there. Yeah, that's the end of it, guys. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed this. I know I have. This is chapter 7 of Dragon Ball X. Stay tuned for Dragon Ball X chapter number 8 in 2 weeks, guys. I'm sorry about this again, but still, this is what has to happen. I have to get my camera fixed. So, yeah, I'll be making chapter 8 and 9 probably on the same day or kind of close together because of this. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'll have fresh new material once I am got this computer, not computer, but my camera fixed. And I have only one more video on my main channel today. I may do a gaming video on my gaming channel, being Ultra Tiger Gaming. I might do 1 or 2 videos on that before tomorrow when I have to get it taken up. So yeah, stay tuned for that on my gaming channel, and one more video on my main channel, being the episode 26 review for Dragon Ball Super. Hopefully y'all all have a wonderful day. I'm Ultra Tiger 0425, and peace, man.